Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Thursday, the 23rd of September, and I am back in the region with a big parcel and a nice hot cup of tea. And I have already pulled out one thing from this fairly heavy parcel, which has come courtesy of the tweedmeister. And that was Chill 3rd edition, so you can check that previous video out. Next, I am going to pull something interesting out of this parcel. I'm going to keep going back to this parcel until I've pulled everything out of it. And the next thing, okay, I've got a Softback here, which is the Book of Contemporary Magical Places. This is published by Stygian Fox. It's written by Darren Pearce and Stephanie McClay, and it's a collection of locations with extraordinary magical effects for use in contemporary role-playing games. My first grumble would be, that's very small text on the back, especially when you've got a huge space there. So what is so I'm just going to lower my glasses and okay. Ever been somewhere and felt as if it was a little off? Ever visited a location and felt like time slowed? The Book of Contemporary Magical Places lists nearly 100 locations around the Earth that hold varying degrees of power, from the mildly curious to planet-shattering. They have their secrets, guardians, traps and wonders. Not all are accessible without incurring great personal cost. This volume is a standalone companion to the Book of Contemporary Magical Things. It's system-free and suitable for any number of contemporary role-playing games. So, I do have a copy of the Book of Contemporary Magical Things, and like that volume is systemless free, and it describes innumerable magical items which range from the mundane to the cosmic, and they're all designed for essentially a modern setting. What that means is you can take them and drop them into any number of different role-playing games of your choice. So the most obvious ones, now since we're coming, this has come from the tweedmeister, the most obvious one for that is his role-playing game Liminal, and you've seen me do an unboxing of Liminal, which is an urban fantasy role-playing game. However, this and the other, its companion would work for things like Delta Green, other modern role-playing games which have a magical or horror element. And basically, so like the aforementioned Chill, which I just done an unboxing of, that would all work for them. So anyway, this is the Book of Contemporary Magical Places, and we have a list of different items. So okay, there's the index. So it's basically there's the contents page, and we have a picture of Mr. Gill's constant reminder: not all curators of magical places are friendly. Draw from that what you will. You've got a guide on how to use this book, and it's designed for you to easily take these places and use them in your campaign worlds, focused on contemporary time periods and the games that support them. Primarily, to this end, we have colour-coded our locations with various special effects that may or may not have detrimental or dangerous properties as well. So if it's green, it's positive. If it's detrimental or has dangers, then it's red. And then and then basically blue means it's got interesting things about it, and if it's got a number, it's got key to the maps at the back. So you have 3 maps at the back. So magical places of the Earth, and that is North America, essentially South America, Africa, Asia, and Australasia, Oceania, and then primarily Western Europe. So those are the backs. You can just look up where they are in the book. let's have a look. I'm just going to flick to a random entry and just have a look at that, just to showcase you what the book is like. So, there we go. So, we've got the House of Talking Dogs, which is green and has it's got a beneficial effect, and its key is map up on the edge. And these homes can be found almost anywhere in the world, varying in location, size, quality, and status, detached, and so on. But the original is House of Talking Dogs. It's located in Saranto, Arjuna, Goa, India. Basically, it's got some history behind it. No one's unsure how the dogs appeared in the home or what constituted the correct circumstances for this phenomenon to occur. First encountered by Rajesh Singh in 2004 when he was canvassing new customers regarding his brand new business venture. He found the house occupied 2 elderly Indian people and 3 dogs, 2 of which were corgis, usually associated with the British monarchy and some celebrities. And he swore that he heard one of the dogs talking to the woman who opened the door. Basically, they were interested in the internet venture he was offering. They invited him, and essentially he noticed how intelligent dogs are, and how they were noticing. And then they didn't take him up on his offer, but said didn't forget them. So he returned in 2008 with a new proposition, and a young woman opened the door. There were 5 dogs. But the dogs that had been there before had grown any older, and the dogs began to talk to him. Essentially, there's a secret there. Essentially, that and I'm going to so if you essentially, it's when a person dies in the home, or later a dog appears that speaks just like them, has their memories and all their mannerisms, only in dog form. So that's an interesting place. I mean, basically, you could imagine how the dogs become sort of repositories for memories and information and so on. You might want to go and consult them for their background. We have things like the whole city of Z. There's an illustration of it. Just flipping through it, just going for random locations. There's inspiration for such a lot here, and it's all accompanied by really nice artwork and more. Things like Fake Street, or the Luck Basement, Jim Tang's Bar, Gamer's Heaven. So essentially, Gamer's Heaven is essentially had to happen that the plethora of films, television, and books and other media that deal with fantasy worlds and magic. Someone had to take the idea of low-key magical effects and apply it to the hobby of gaming. In this case, role-playing. Gamers Heaven is the culmination brainchild of 2 RPG-obsessed sisters, and they have essentially turned a bookshop into somewhere magical for gamers. Quite literally, as opposed to, it's mundane, but it's magical enough for me because it's important. If you see what I mean, there's nothing more interesting than walking into a role-playing game shop you've never been into and looking to see what they've got for sale. And sometimes it'll just be stuff you go, okay, yeah, I've all seen that. Other times, you'll go through the shelves and go, oh, I haven't got that. Oh, that's really nice. And you'll find some gems and some treasures. But in this case, obviously, the sisters are offering something a bit more than just satisfying my drive to basically, if not own everything, read everything and talk about it. but yeah, so essentially it's a place where you can play role-playing games with magical effects, which is fantastic, because if you think about it, it's sort of like that brings it to life in the game, so you can actually go and play in the game, and the game, how can you put it, you're role-playing a game in which you can go to a place and do some role-playing that's got some magical effects. So that's sort of like different kind of levels of sort of meta, as it were, deeper and deeper in. So yes, you have in numerous different places in there, and they are all essentially easy to adapt to the urban sort of like fantasy role-playing game of your choice. So that's Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green, Liminal, also Rivers of London as well, Sigil and Shadow, the new role-playing game from Osprey Games. Yeah, because it's system neutral. So yeah, Book of Contemporary Magical Places. Well, thank you again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit that hit that like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, appreciate you taking the time to post those, and I do read them. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me back out here with a parcel and a book or game, which I will talk about to the best of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do subscribe. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.